Welcome to the Postal Gamer Podcast, where I discuss what games I'm currently playing, what I'm looking forward to coming out, as well as video game news and anything that has to do with video games. I'm your host, Kevin. Welcome, coworkers, families, and friends. Please sit down, grab yourself a beverage, because you're in for a good one.
Welcome to this week's episode of the Postal Gamer Podcast. We've got a couple of new things that have come out. We got a bunch of updates that have come out to Call of Duty. They patched zombies a couple times. People keep just breaking the game, which is wild. I keep on watching this on TikTok. I myself have not had any experience with it yet. I've also been trying some mobile gaming with my ROG Ally. There's some updates with the Retroid project that I'm doing for DJ Clive. And, well, I guess it's time to just get into it. So we had a afternoon where I had to spend about an hour inside the car waiting for my wife to take care of something with her grandfather, and I had nothing else to do. So I brought my ROG Ally and used my phone. I had my ROG Ally set to 15 watts of power at 720p. I got an hour and a half of continuous gameplay of Call of Duty on a 4G hotspot on my phone. And my frame rates weren't bad. They were 49 and at its lowest and 71 at its peak, which I thought was extremely playable. And my ping wasn't that bad either. I was like 44 ping, I think at my highest, and like 26 at my lowest, which I found to be completely cool. And that was actually the launch day of Nuketown, and I was doing Nuketown 24/7. It was a lot of fun. I went up quite a few levels in the car ride that day. When we got back to the house, I loaded it back up on the Xbox, and I started seeing all these exploits going on with zombies. I personally have not done them yet. I have plans on trying them out and telling you my experience this week, but I have not done them. I know that they nerfed the one on, I think, Terminus, which was the one with the boat, where you would get two boats, blow one boat up, and then let the zombies stack up on the other boat and then pick them off all at once. The other one that's currently going on is, it's on the other map. I can't, Landfall? Something like that. Trustfall? Something falls. Anyway, Meteor Falls? Who knows? I mean, you'll know. I probably should know, but I forgot. Anyway. It's where you go through the first door, you end up taking a faucet off of a garden hose, going into the bowling alley and adjusting the water pressure to make sure that there's always water pressure, and every time you're about to white out the screen, running back inside the bowling alley to activate a god mode. Now, this looks like you can do this at like level 4 or 5 of zombies, and what's wild is you literally cannot die as long as you make it back inside the bowling alley by the time you white out. People are going to like absolute max level of all their guns in like around an hour, which is, that could take you weeks of grinding to max out a single gun. Getting the prestige camos or whatever, which I don't know. I gotta give that a shot. I was gonna do it last night, but honestly, I got home a little too late and was a little too tired to mess around with it. The other thing that I saw, which I'm pretty sure people are just trolling, is in private mode. Apparently, if you go into Nuketown and you have a very specific setup and you're a very specific character, if you throw a shock stick at a statue and then hit it with a rocket launcher, it will bring you to max prestige in one shot. I can't see this being real. It's something I'll try, but I cannot see it being real. That's gonna kind of do it for Call of Duty. I'm still having a lot of fun playing the game. I've still not gotten back to KOTOR. I started playing Luigi's Mansion 3 again. I've gotten up to the gardening guy, and I'm all the way up at the top floor, about to get into a battle with him. I'm going to take care of him on my lunch break today at work, and I'll have more updates on that later on in the week for next week's episode. My wife and I actually completed the Conqueror Challenge over the course of the last couple weeks. We started it in, I think it was August 26th and finished it October 21st. It took 56 days to do it. We walked a grand total of 650 miles. Now, for those of you who don't know what the Conqueror Challenge is, the Conqueror Challenge, at least this one that we chose was Lord of the Rings. So they actually calculated how long the hobbits walked from each section to section all the way to Mordor to dump the ring in the fire. Like, it's pretty wild. So when you enroll in this, you pay, I forget what the fee was, but you pay a fee, and they mail you medals upon you completing walks. Now, I synced up my Fitbit to it. I walk a lot at work, but my wife and I have been walking 4 miles every single night, so that contributed quite a bit to it as well. And, well, the first one, the Shire, was 145 miles. We completed that one in 3 days. So the Shire was 145 miles. We did that in 5 days. Then the Fellowship was 98 miles. We did that in 4 days. Mines of Moria we did in 2 days. That was 40 miles. Aya Sauron we did in 4 days. And Mordor was 282 miles. And this was a monster. This thing, between work and we took a couple nights off of walking. Both of us got sick for a little period of time. We had a bunch of visitors. We were on and off with it at that point. But this took us, I want to say it was the better part of 30 days worth of walking. We got all the medals in the mail. They're really beautiful. I strongly suggest looking into these. Not only are the medals beautiful, it's a good way to get healthy and to start moving around. I'm fat by design, and I'm trying to fix that. So anything that motivates me to get off my butt and get outside is a good thing. I was mixing this up with playing Pokemon Go at the same time, hatching eggs and catching Pokemon out there, and it was kind of fun. We're still going out on our walk, even though we don't have any new challenges or medals coming in the mail. We're going out there because we're trying to lose weight, which is a good thing. I tried to pick up Forza Horizon 5 again on Game Pass. I downloaded it, wanted to check out what was new. I haven't played since they introduced the 03 Cobra Mustang. That was probably May of 24, I want to say. And so far, it looks like they haven't changed anything. The fastest car in the game is still the Jesco, still like 3 to 4 million. There's been no new tunes. It hits like 324 miles an hour or 522 kilometers per hour. There's nothing new to report on that. I started playing Diablo 4. I haven't picked that up in about a year. And right now, I'm level 50. I'm a barbarian. And gonna be doing a little bit on that, but still focusing down Call of Duty because I'm having a lot of fun with that. But there's nothing really to report there. I mean, at this point, we all know I'm in Nightmare and just doing Hell Tides, and I know that's probably not the fastest way to level anymore. And I know there's an expansion, so I'll eventually get to mess around with that. What else do we got for this week? I mean, there's some Pokemon news for the card game. Looks like Prismatic Evolutions is coming out, which looks pretty cool. I do collect Pokemon cards. Me and my buddy Batman, we do go out and go to like conventions and stuff and pick up cards. I have seen some pretty cool stuff coming out on this. I know they're coming out with a lot more like Illustrator Rares are coming out on this, and a lot more SARs are coming out on this, which should be pretty cool. And you know, it's Eevee, so everything on there is going to be a valuable card. I assume that this is supposed to be Scarlet and Violet's like Evolving Skies, so probably should try to get a master set of this and try to keep some products sealed, because Evolving Skies just keeps going through the roof. That Moonbryon, You know what? This is the proper form to tell you guys about my Moonbryon story. So, I want to say 2022, maybe 21, I decided I was going to buy a Moonbryon. It was like $450 at the time. Bought one on eBay. Never showed up to the house. Took probably about a month to get refunded. Then I went ahead and ordered another one. The same exact thing happened. I was really beside myself. Couldn't get one to go down. Just couldn't get one shipped to me for whatever reason. People were just trying to scam people on eBay. I really don't understand. So, we fast forward to last Christmas, so Christmas of 23. Batman was over my house. We were trying to find one on Facebook or Mercari or OfferUp. We could just go pick one up somewhere, right? I could not get a deal to go off. We spent all day long messaging people, trying to get any deal to go off where I could purchase one. Everything that I would set up, the person would either bail out or not show up. And I'm just thinking, I'm cursed with this card. There's just no way on earth that I'm ever going to get this thing. In the time between September and June, I had traded a really beat to death Shining Gyarados, and I mean, this thing had creases, marks on it, like a bite mark almost. It was really bad. I paid $100 on Whatnot for it, and you know what? I even think that $100 was not even the full value of the card, because he sent a bunch of other stuff. He sent a piece of I think it was a piece of platinum and a couple other cards. Anyway, so I trade that off. I get a PSA 9 Gengar VMAX from Fusion Strike. And I had a couple other cards with me. And I was like, okay, I know Moonbryon's a G right now. I ended up pulling some money out of the bank, and Gengar was $300 or $400 at the time. I brought 90% of my collection to this conference in Connecticut. Went up there, I traded my cards, I paid the difference, I bring home the Moonbryon. It's a $1,000 card. I am ecstatic. I'm crying. I'm there's no way that this was freaking real. I spent close to 2-3 years trying to buy this freaking card. It just wasn't there for me. Every single time, it just was not working. Now the story gets a little crappy again. So I get the card, I get it home. I know the card's not pristine, right? I know it's got a ding in the corner, and I know from looking at the back that it's really off center, top to bottom. Whatever, Pokemon sucks. We all know that. They're terrible with their quality control. I have my card. I go, okay, I'm sending it off to Beckett. I want subgrades on this thing. I want this thing encapsulated, and I want this thing never to be able to get damaged again. I honestly didn't care what grade it came back. I thought it was going to pull an 8 or an 8.5. Oh my God, was I disappointed. I pulled a 7.5. Now, I had a solid 8.5 card, except for the surface, because there was some sort of mark on the surface on the back of the card, and that's the only reason I could see that they did that to me. I felt like they did me so dirty after so long trying to get this card. I first of all, I'm not cracking it open. I'm not going to send it back out. I'm not sending it to PSA. It's not going anywhere. It's inside my binder, and it's literally not going anywhere. I have these elastic sleeves that are built into the binder, where I keep 4 slabs. I have the Celebrations, Blastoise, Charizard, and Venusaur and PSA 10s inside there, and then I have my Moonbryon there. So yeah, that's the story of the Moonbryon, as drawn out, stupid, and ridiculous as it possibly could be. Beckett did me a little dirty. I wasn't too happy with that, but I do have to say, at least it's encased and it ain't going nowhere. So I know it's not going to get further damaged ever, which is a good thing. Sorry that you're hearing my blinker. You know, the whole thing of this is I am the Postal gamer, and yeah. So I think that's going to wrap things up for now. I have not done much else. My in-laws were down for the weekend, so we were celebrating the wife's birthday. So there was not much else that we were able to do over there. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for stopping by. If you could, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to, if you're enjoying your time. If you don't, I completely get it. I don't really know what I'm doing here. I don't know how long I'm going to go for this. All I know is I'm having fun putting my story out there of the games that I'm playing and what's going on in not really my personal life, but in my gaming life. I'm enjoying that with you guys. So I'm gonna do a couple more of these, see where it takes me. If anything, who knows? Well, I almost forgot to add this in, but working on the Retroid, I'm trying to sideload Daphne onto a SD card to install onto there so he can play some games that he's looking to play. I do have all the BIOS on there. I have not all the BIOS that he was looking for in their proper place on there. I have not yet tried anything else out besides trying to install Daphne onto an SD card and plug. But at the same time, I haven't been able to properly get it to run on the Retroid. So more to that soon, I guess. I'm going to have to do a lot more research.